Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Senate chamber this morning. Thank you for joining us. Today is May 10, 2024. It's 10:45 in the morning, and it is our second special Senate session. And before we conduct our business this morning, I'd like to ask everyone to please rise for a moment of silence. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Babauta, Senator Cruz,
Here.
Madam President,
Here.
Senator Hofschneider,
Gaye.
Senator King Neighbors,
Here.
Senator Magofnia,
Present.
Senator Manglonya Donald,
Present.
Senator Manglonya Paul,
Here.
Senator Mendola,
Here.
Madam President, 8 members are present, 1 absent.
With 8 members present and 1 absent, we have established the necessary number to conduct our business this morning for a quorum. And let the record reflect that Senator Babauta is hereby excused from today's session, and also Senator Neighbors is joining us online this morning from Tinian. And for the viewing public, we are live on cable TV, channel 23, and also live on the CNMI Legislature's YouTube channel, which will be shared on the CNMI Legislature's Facebook page. And we are joined this morning by our Senate Legal Counsel, Antoinette Villagomez, Senate Clerk Dolores Bermudez, our Senate Legislative Assistant Jolene Duenas-Tagabuel, our Senate Journal Clerk Chanel Borja, and our IT Manager Delbert Camacho, and Sergeant at Arms Benjamin Terlahi. Thank you for helping us out this morning. Moving on, we are on item B of this morning's agenda for public comment. We are now open for anyone to make a comment on the item agendas for this morning. You may proceed, and please limit your comment to 5 minutes. Indicate your name and the entity you are representing. Welcome.
Good morning,
Good morning.
and my apology for my short absences the last month and a half. Yes, I can tell that from your smile. Anyway, buenos dias, Afade. Good morning, and lesson mama to all of you. It's always good to be back in this chamber, not only for camaraderie purposes, but thanking, of course, generally the members of the Senate for their eagerness and all the work, legislative work that you have extended to the administration of Palacios Zapatan. That being said, Madam Chair, first of all, I wish to convey my personal message to you and the members and express my family's sincere Sisusmasi for your prayers, thoughts, and support during my short absence 2.5 months ago. It's good to be back and more energetic, commitment, committed, regaining my strength, and more than ever, I am also resilient in coming back to assist our people in various ways in addressing their daily lives in the Commonwealth. So I'm here to help out our Commonwealth again, one more time, hope for the longer period of time. That being said, Madam Chair, Jesus Masi again, and thank you. I came and appear on behalf of Governor Palacios and that of Acting Governor David Apateng, who is currently acting today until Friday, to convey our administration's message in saying thank you and a warm holiday from across the road. And sincerely express our Jesus Masi to you, Madam President, members of the Senate, your esteemed colleagues, and in particular, I'd like to recognize also the effort of our able and capable EAGI chair, who have endured her schedules to make sure that the appointments of the administration is well vetted out to the public. And for that, Jesus Masi, and I take note particular on your item M, and I join the family of the nominees who are, most of them are currently here, their co-workers, their supporters alike, to express their sincere gratitude for this morning's confirmation session that would appear in item Item M, section 1, Standing Committee Report 2382, 2384, 2387, and 2388. And lastly, Standing Committee Report 2390, confirming all those that appeared in today's session. So I beg again to leave with all of you your unwavering support so that we may continue to help our people in the Commonwealth. So with that being said, once again, on behalf of the people of the Commonwealth, Madam President, it's always good to see your smile this morning again. Thank you, Jesus Masis, and buenos dias to all of you. Thank you.
Jesus Masi, Mr. Babauta, and we are happy to see you
Thank you.
in good health. You can give your statement to our Sergeant at Arms for our records. Thank you very much. We are still open for public comments. Anybody else that would like to make a comment on the agenda items? You are welcome to do so. None? Okay, we are officially closing the public comments section of this agenda this morning. Moving on to item C, reading and approval of the journal. And I recognize my apologies. Go ahead, please.
Buenos días. Madam Presidenta, membron sa Nilo na guma legislatura, nano si Joseph Mundo Castro, retirado, gi Departamenton Polisia. No despensa sa kalang dididi no ato sauzo za parang nucho mesta i para fangwentus ginini publiko sa unanay loki sansay pumalo lo bueno kof magovzo para bagay gini dabe continua formation hamzo cocina por favor sin detention conforma acting commissioner as Anthony Macronas para ukonsigi gwinifinya para sedbihit gi Departamentong Pulisya dyan kung todo inirat publiko gi Islas Northern Marianas. Utungo kabalis si Acting Commissioner no Macronas humalom ginin tuton niya gi Pulisya dyan anay adisidi para retiro no maalama sa some kumentos. Lo parafa na be kwentos po kwalidad na mas sa esta humalumzo na kada uno gizahamzo man resibi gini ni komite ni report po hafa si Acting Commissioner Macronas. Lo taja giningwaho dyan sa gwaho inextendi dongkulo na supetasyon para guiza ja udisesya na usedbi hit gi kabalis jan ginasgas ni hafay publiko madisesya porosogwi mo na gi kariranya gi alonesti itres anyos manmamala na tedmenon Palacios apatang na administrasyon. Enawa para bago na ogan jatalo kada huno gija hamzo panumidi ja inconsidera ja inconforma siniafafa na detention si Diyos Marcy para todos hamzo.
Jesus Masi, Mr. Castro, is on comment. We're still open for public comment on the agenda. Anybody else that would like to make a comment? Okay, we are officially closing the public comment section of this morning's agenda. Moving on to item C of the agenda this morning, reading and approval of the journal. I now recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under item C, we have two journals for adoption and approval. Senate Journal number 23-30, fifth day, third regular session dated March 12, 2024, and Senate Journal 23-31, first day, first special session dated April 8, 2024. I move for its adoption and approval.
Thank you, Floor Leader. There is a motion to adopt Senate Journals 23-30 and Senate Journal 23-31. Any comments from the members? None? All those in favor say aye. Nays? Senate Journal 2330 and 2331 is hereby adopted by the Senate. Moving on to item D, messages from the governor. Clerk?
Madam President, we have 10 on our agenda, 23 to 60 to 269.
Any comments from the members? None? Moving on to item E, communications from the judiciary. There's none. Item F, communications from the heads of executive departments. Any comments from the members? Clerk?
Madam President, we have 6, 23 to 69 to 74.
Comments, members? None?
Madam President, if I may, just
Recognize Senator Jude Hoff-Schneider.
just a reference to Secretary of Finance message on the referring to item F, line item 4, Department Message 2372, second quarter financial report. Just reviewing some of the reports. First, I appreciate the Secretary for providing such report. I do want to ask the Mr. Chairman, Vice President Donald, if the next request for inquiry with regards to revenue is how much have we received from FEMA reimbursement, particularly the $21 million and the impending $15 million that we stand to receive. I recall making a public statement, Secretary of Finance saying there's a 15 million reimbursement that's pending, of which indirectly indicating that it's already spoken for, but I feel that the legislature should have a hand on these reimbursement as such because of the response the CNMI government had to front load the general fund at the time of the emergency, which in turn was qualified for reimbursement. So the 21 million and the $15 million FEMA reimbursement, if it has been received, respectfully ask the chair to kindly request the expenditure of that, or if what are we going to do as members of this body.
Thank you, Senator Jude Hoff-Schneider, for your comments. Any other members? None? Moving on to item G, communications from the House Clerk.
We have one, Madam President, 23-126.
Any comments from the members?
Madam President.
Recognize Senator Jude Hoff-Schneider.
Thank you, Madam President. And I just referencing to this particular conference committee, as all of us know, this is basically just a reenactment of the recent public law that we adopted, and that is to front load MPLT funds to service the needs of the $94 million EDA grants for the island of Saipan. I do know that and I want to commend the leadership of Vice President Donald for his leadership with the Senate conference. And although it didn't materialize as we all are anticipating to see if there's a resolution to that, I think most of us know, the viewing public, that at the end of the day, we didn't need to do this after all, as the administration and MPLT had figured out a way with the current language of Public Law 2312 to ensure that the bridging of the projects of up to $15 million to be used in the MPLT funds so that be able to move this project forward. So as a voting member of this house right here in the Senate, I do remember, Madam President, that you've asked us to be here during that session, of which we were, and you needed us 6 votes to approve that. And I'm pleased to inform the general public that we did that. That gave rise to Public Law 2312. And the House Bill 23-95 HS1 SS3 was never really in need after all, as the public law that was enacted earlier that suffices the need to move the projects forward. So thank you again, Vice President and President, for having this time in the floor. Thank you.
Any other comments from the members? None? Okay, if there's no objections from the members, we're going to move right into item M to confirm the nominees this morning. Under reports of standing committees, I now recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Under item M, we have 8 standing committee reports. First is Standing Committee Report number 23-82 from the Committee on EAGI, reporting on the executive appointment of Ms. Chanel Manglonia to serve as a member of the Northern Marianas Technical NMTI, representing the 1st Senatorial District. Madam President and members, I move for its adoption.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-82 and has been seconded. Any comments from the members? None. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Schneider,
I'm good.
Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Maglonia,
Yes.
Senator Maglonia Donald,
I abstain.
Senator Maglonia Paul,
Abstain.
Senator Mendiola.
Yes.
Madam President,
Yes.
Madam President, 6 members voting yes, 2 abstention, 1 absent.
We have 6 members voting yes, 2 abstention, and 1 absent. We have garnered enough votes to adopt the Standing Committee Report and confirm also Ms. Chanel A. Manglonia to serve as a member of the Northern Marianas Technical Institute, representing the 1st Senatorial District. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Standing Committee Report number 23-83 from the Committee on Resources, Economic Development, and Programs in Gaming, reporting on Senate Bill 23-50 to amend 2 CMC subsection 4335E, allowing flexibility and homestead requirements due to significant investments, infrastructural deficiencies, reasonable justifications, and natural disasters, and to approve for the issuance of quitclaim deeds under certain conditions and for other purposes. Also recommends passage in the form of SB 23-50, Senate Draft 1. I move for its adoption.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-83 and has been seconded. Any comments from the members? All those in favor say aye. Nays? Standing Committee Report number 23-83 is hereby adopted. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Standing Committee Report number 23-84 from the Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigations, reporting on the executive reappointment of Dr. Martin Rohringer to serve as a member of the Healthcare Professions Licensing Board. I move for its adoption.
There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-84 and has been seconded. Any comments from the members? Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Schneider,
I'm good.
Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Maglonia,
Yes.
Senator Maglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Maglonia Paul,
Yes.
Senator Mendiola.
Yes.
Madam President,
Yes.
Madam President, all 8 members voting yes.
With all 8 members voting yes, Standing Committee Report number 23-84 is hereby adopted and also confirms Dr. Martin P. Rohringer to serve as a member of the Healthcare Professional Licensing Board. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Standing Committee Report number 23-85 from the Committee on Fiscal Affairs, reporting on Senate Bill 23-43, Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, Captive Insurance Bill of 2024. Members, if there are no objections, I move to hold off on the adoption of this committee report pending comments from Department of Commerce and the Insurance Commissioner. Thank you.
There's a motion to hold off on the adoption of Standing Committee Report number 23-85 and has been seconded. Any comments from the members? I recognize Senator Donu Manglonia.
I just wanted to ask maybe a question because we did submit requests for comments to Commerce, but they haven't responded. But they did acknowledge the request for comments. And so did they specify a time frame to when these comments will be submitted?
Thank you for your question, Chair. I did receive information that Commerce will be submitting a written testimony for the bill, I believe, at the end of this week. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no objections, all those in favor say aye. Nays. Standing Committee Report number 2385 is on hold right now. Moving on, Floor Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Standing Committee Report number 23-86 from the Committee on Fiscal Affairs reporting on HB House Bill number 23-72 to establish a Department of Labor revolving fund account and authorize the collection of fees through the Administrative Hearing Officer for services and other agencies. I move for its adoption.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-86 and has been seconded. Any comments from the members? All those in favor say aye. Nay. Standing Committee Report number 2386 is hereby adopted. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Standing Committee Report number 23-87 from the Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigations to reporting on the executive appointment of Ms. Susan R. Babauta to serve as a member of Commonwealth Election Commission representing the 3rd Senatorial District. I move for its adoption.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-87 and has been seconded. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Again.
Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Magofnia,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul,
Yes.
Senator Mindola,
Yes.
Madam President,
Yes.
Madam President, all 8 members voting yes.
With all 8 members voting yes, Standing Committee Report number 23-87 is hereby adopted and confirms Ms. Susan R. Babauta to serve as a member of the Commonwealth Election Commission representing the 3rd Senatorial District. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Standing Committee Report number 23-88 from the Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigations reporting on the executive appointment of Mr. Anthony Iglesias Macaronis to serve as the Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety. I move for its adoption.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-88 and has been seconded. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Again.
Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Magofnia,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul,
Yes.
Senator Mindola,
Yes.
Madam President,
Yes.
Madam President, all 8 members voting yes.
With all 8 members voting yes, Standing Committee Report number 2388 is hereby adopted and confirms Mr. Anthony Iglesias Macaronis to serve as Commissioner of the Department of Public Safety. Floor Leader.
Thank you, Madam President. And last, we have Standing Committee Report number 23-90 from the Committee on Executive Appointments and Government Investigations reporting on the executive reappointment of Dr. John Jack Angelo to serve as a member of Public Utilities Commission representing the 3rd Senatorial District. I move for its adoption.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Standing Committee Report number 23-90 and has been seconded. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Again.
Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Magofnia,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul,
Yes.
Senator Mindola,
Yes.
Madam President,
Yes.
Madam President, all 8 members voting yes.
Standing Committee Report number 23-90 is hereby adopted and also confirms Dr. John Jack A. Angelo to serve as a member of Public Utilities Commission representing the 3rd Senatorial District. Short recess, please. short recess. We are now back to our agenda on item H, communications from the Senate. Clerk?
We have 20, Madam President, 23-422 to 442.
Any comments from the members? I recognize Senator Dennis Mendiola.
Thank you, Madam Press. For the record, I just want to make a statement on, I was watching the House session last week, and when I saw the statement that Rep. Castro made in regards to Senator Carl's nomination, pretty much insinuating that Tinian's at fault for the lack of quorum, I actually like to just point to the rules for point of facts that it requires only three individuals to have a quorum. As a matter of fact, on the language of the rules, it also states that it's no more than 6, but quorum can be established at 3. So that means it was still enough individuals to have a quorum. It's not necessarily Tinian's fault. I didn't like that statement, Madam President. I wanted to just clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Dennis, for your comment. I now recognize Senator Donald Manglonia.
Thank you, Madam Press. This is just in regards to Senate Communication 23440. I know it's just an off-island notice, but I just wanted to just provide a brief statement on this trip. This was sponsored by the Guam Visitors Bureau at the invitation of the President and CEO, former Governor Carl Gutierrez. The Mayor of Rota has been instrumental in reaching out to GVB requesting for assistance. And as a matter of fact, GVB will be sending down travel agents to Rota this week to see what Rota can offer and help promote Rota. And so I just want to extend our appreciation to the Guam Visitors Bureau and their staff for coordinating this event and more importantly, trying to get the word out and spread the word that Rota is a destination that they can consider. And so, again, thank you to the staff and to the CEO and president of GVB. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Manglonia, for your comment. Any other comments from the members on any of the communications? We're good? Okay. Let's move on to item I, communications from the Washington delegate. There is none. Item J, unfinished business. There is none. Item K, pre-filed bills, initiatives, local bills, and resolutions. And I'll now like to recognize the author of number 4, Senator Jude Hoff-Schneider, and the sponsors.
Madam President, can I yield my time and I'll come back on the second call?
Okay, I'll now recognize for number 5, Senate Legislative Initiative 2305, the author, Senator Paul Manglonia.
Thank you, Madam Press. I'd like to officially introduce Senate Legislative Initiative 2305 to authorize rank choice voting for the offices of the Governor and Lieutenant Governor by amending Article 3, Section 4 of the CNMI Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Paul Manglonia. I shall recognize myself now for Senate Resolution number 23-18 to recognize and commend the CNMI Office of the Public Auditor for receiving the highest peer review rating from the Association of the Pacific Islands Public Auditors. Also for Senate Resolution number 2319 to acknowledge the Marianas Tourism Education Council for the contributions and efforts in enhancing and maintaining the tourism industry of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. And lastly, for Senate Resolution number 23-20 to acknowledge and appreciate Francis Torres Salas' countless efforts and contributions to the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. And item number 4, Senator Jude.
Jesus Masi, Madam President, officially introducing Senate Local Bill 23-05 to amend 10 CMC subsection 2513 2 and 2531 to provide for regulatory compliant internet gaming and for other purposes. And this is co-sponsored by Senators Francisco Q. Cruz and Senator Carl King Neighbors.
Thank you, Senator Hoff-Schneider. Moving on our agenda is item L, introduction of bills, initiatives, local bills, and resolutions. There is none. Moving on to item N, reports of special conference committee. There is none. Item O, resolution calendar. I now recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. We have 3 resolutions on our calendar for action. First one is Senate Resolution Number 23-18 to recognize and commend the CNMI Office of the Public Auditor. Oh, my apologies, wrong one. 2318. Oh, yes, sorry. To recognize and commend the CNMI Office of the Public Auditor for receiving the highest peer review rating from the Association of the Pacific Islands Public Auditors. I move for its adoption.
Second.
There's a motion to adopt Senate Resolution Number 23-18. It has been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Nays. Senate Resolution Number 23-18 is hereby adopted. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Senate Resolution Number 23-19 to acknowledge the Marianas Tourism Education Council for their contributions and efforts in enhancing and maintaining the tourism industry of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. I move for its adoption.
There's a motion to adopt Senate Resolution 23-19. It has been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Senate Resolution Number 23-19 is hereby adopted. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Senate Resolution Number 23-20 to acknowledge and appreciate Francis Torres Salas' countless efforts and contributions to the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. I move for its adoption.
Second.
A motion to adopt Senate Resolution Number 23-20. It has been seconded. All those in favor say aye. Nays. Senate Resolution Number 23-20 is hereby adopted. Moving on to item P, bill calendar, and I'll recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. First, we have House Bill Number 23-7 to amend 4 CMC subsection 1401D to increase revenues by properly taxing tobacco products. Madam President, I move to withdraw the bill and refer back to the Fiscal Affairs Committee for further analysis on the bill. Thank you.
Second.
There's a motion to withdraw House Bill Number 23-7, referring it back to the Senate Fiscal Affairs Committee, and it has been seconded. Any discussions from the members? All those in favor of that motion say aye. Nays. House Bill Number 23-7 is hereby withdrawn and sent back to the Senate Fiscal Affairs Committee. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have Senate Bill Number 23-50, Senate Draft 1, to amend 2 CMC subsection 4335E, allowing flexibility in the homestead requirements due to significant investments, infrastructural deficiencies, reasonable justifications, and natural disasters, and to provide for the issuance of quitclaim deeds under certain conditions and for other purposes. Thank you.
Second.
My apologies. I move for passage. Thank you.
There's a
Second.
motion to pass Senate Bill Number 23-50 in the form of SD1. It has been seconded. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Cruz,
Yes.
Senator Hofschneider,
Yes.
Senator King Neighbors,
Yes.
Senator Maglunia,
Yes.
Senator Maglunia Donald,
Yes.
Senator Maglunia Paul,
Yes.
Senator Mindola,
Yes.
Madam President.
Yes.
Madam President, all 8 members voting yes.
With all 8 members voting yes, Senate Bill Number 23-50 in the form of SD1 hereby passes the Senate. Floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. Next, we have House Bill Number 23-72, Senate Draft 1, to establish a Department of Labor revolving fund and to authorize the collection of fees through the Administrative Hearing Officer for services to other agencies. I move for passage.
Second.
There's a motion to pass House Bill Number 23-72 SD1. It has been seconded. Any comments from the members? Recognize Senator Donald Maglonia.
Thank you, President. Members, I believe you were provided a copy of the amendment. It's just to replace the current statute that's listed on there to the 1 CMC Section 9101. And so this would make changes to page 2, lines 14 through 18, replacing 1 CMC Division 9, Chapter 1, Administrative Procedures Act to 1 CMC Section 9101 et sec. And then also replacing 4 CMC subsections 4511A and H and 4528 to 3 CMC subsections 4511A and H and 3 CMC section 4528. Consistent with intent of the foregoing amendments, I also move to allow the legal counsel together with the council senate clerk to make further non-substantive technical amendments that are strictly necessary to effectuate the intent of this floor amendment prior to transmittal. So move.
There's a motion to make amendments to the proposed legislation, House Bill number 23-72, SD1. It has been seconded. Any comments from the members? None? All those in favor for the proposed amendment say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Proposed amendment on House Bill number 23-72 SD1 is hereby adopted. We are back to the main motion. Floor leader for the adoption of the amendments and as amended on the bill.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I offer a motion to pass House Bill number 23-72 in the form of SD1 as amended, to establish a Department of Labor revolving fund and authorize the collection of fees through the Administrative Hearing Officer for services to other agencies. So moved.
Second.
There's a motion to pass House Bill number 23-72 SD1 as amended. It has been seconded. Clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Cruz?
Yes.
Senator Hofstadter?
Good.
Senator King Neighbors?
Yes.
Senator Magofnia?
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Donald?
Yes.
Senator Manglonia Paul?
Yes.
Senator Mindiola?
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
Madam President, all 8 members voting yes.
With all 8 members voting yes, House Bill number 23-72 in the form of SD1 as amended hereby passes the Senate. Moving on to item Q, petitions, memorials, miscellaneous communications. Clerk?
We have 9 on our agenda, Madam President, 173 to 182.
Any comments from the members? None? Recognize Senator Dennis Mendiola.
Thank you, Madam Press. I also wanted to comment further on just some of the communications from the House, which pretty much insinuates that or is alluding towards a stalemate relationship between the Senate and the House. And, in fact, that's not true. It's really, as they just called us, the door is open in the House, likewise in the Senate. For those House members that are interested, you can always come up to the Senate as well and work with us. It makes the process a lot easier. To just call out the Senate President on holding bill is it's in fact untrue, and I just wanted to make sure that this narrative is actually being cleared, because I can tell you that the Senate we try to go through these bills in the committees and make sure that everybody's concerns is addressed. So I just wanted to comment to that, Madam Press. I also wanted to comment a lot on or the issue of Hyatt pulling out, and the problem is that we're having all these narratives going on the news and social media about pivoting from Chinese market, and at this point, for me, I don't think it's right or conducive for us to pivot from any market, for that matter, being that we're kind of in a economic slump. And then further, the communications and the narratives coming out is really unclear, because we're pivoting and then we're not. There's ARPA money, but there's not. So, Madam Press, I just wanted to make sure that that's on record, because it seems like there's a lot of change in communications going out there, and then it, for example, the Senate gets pinned with this first and final on the 5.2 CETA bill for the retirees, and then we get pinned to a corner to just push this, because if we don't pass it, the retirees get hurt. Problem with that is that the Senate likes to actually go through this process and make sure that everything in the language is thorough and thoroughly vetted. So I just want to make sure, Madam Press, that this information is going out there for our community to understand, and ensure that we're going through this process and we're ensuring our due diligence in terms of our responsibility. Thank you, Madam Press.
Thank you, Senator Mendiola. I now recognize Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President and members of the Senate,
malagus lokke ba binakloru of masangan gi sambapan aguma. Because every single thing that went wrong, they blame on us for Republican. And I think that's not fair. We're here to work together for the betterment of everyone. And since the beginning of this legislature, you assign, Madam President, you assign each member a committee, standing committee, to represent this body. We were not assigned to any of those committee, standing committee, to chair that committee, so that we can move forward with whatever the committee you assign supposed to be responsible for their committee. I talked to, I even addressed to you, Madam President, that why Tinian are not included in the EAG and JGO committee. And for me, it's not fair because we have some issue also for the island of Tinian. And in order for us to participate in that, in order for us to address issues pertaining to Tinian matter, we have to be in that committee. We have to be a member, official member of the committee, not just join a public hearing and cannot be recognized or concerned because we're not an official member of that committee. So I address it also to and colleague Chairman Paul can attest to that. I addressed it to him since he's the chairman of the rules, that it is important that a member of a senatorial district should be in that EAG and JGO committee. Senator Paul addressed to us, members of the Tinian delegation, to visit Senator Babauta because she's waiting for us to talk to us in regards to accepting us in that committee. It took me 3 times to address it to Senator Poe, and he kept on insisting that Senator Babauta is waiting for us to meet so that we can be in that committee. After one session here in the Senate, I spoke to my colleague that I will go to Senator Babauta and request for either one of you be included in that committee, and not for myself. So I visited her. She accepted me in the room, and we discussed over a membership in that committee, and I stated all the reason why it's important to be in that committee. Her answer to or respond to me is, I will see to that. But then nothing ever happened. So that means I feel that we're not even wanted, or she will not accept us to be in that committee. So I don't know why the House is blaming on us, why we're not accepting it. If you're not wanted in that committee, what can we do, right? So only at that time that I noticed a committee report was submitted for Senate action on a session that does not constitute a quorum signature on that committee report. I address it to you, Madam President, and even to Councilor Villagomez, that is this I know that it's not against the law, but it is right. Is it right to submit a committee report when there's no complete signature for that report to go through the session process? And that's when I believe Senator Boal realized that they need a member of the second senatorial district, and not only that, only when Senator Dennis from the first senatorial district resigned. But still, even if he resigned, there's still a quorum because there's still three of them. Why were they blaming us that all those bills that are sitting in that committee is because of us from the second senatorial district that we're not, accepting it to be a member? I asked, Madam President, and I shared this with you a couple of times. I even shared with Senator Poe to amend the rules so that each senatorial district should be a member of any committee. Senator Floor Leader Magofnia invited me, I accepted. Vice President invited me, I accepted. Senator Poe invited me, I accepted. If she invited us, we will accept that. But from the get-go, that when I went in there, she never wanted any of us to be in that committee. So why were the blame? I think whoever's talking now, you should do your work and find out the truth why the members of that second senator are not in that committee. Not just keep jacking your mouth and saying something bad because we're Republican. We're not bad Republican. We're here to work for the betterment of everyone. We're very cooperative with any member of this standing committee to work with them because we want to alleviate the hardship of our members of our community. That's why we're here for. We're not here because of politics. When politics over, politics over. Tana parasti politika, jagi kada very close to election time, you come up with something to prove to your people that you're doing your best. No, na pare no na klase. Ikada moti or an election, you guys come up with something to convince your people to make everybody believe that we're bad. We're not bad people here. We're here to work with you guys. Don't blame on us. Check the chairman, what happened. Don't blame on us. Because I try my best a couple of times to address this. And I think Senator Poe, you can attest to that because I asked you to amend the rules. But you insist and tell me, go check Babauta because she's waiting for you guys. I did check Babauta, Senator Babauta, but she did not accept any of us. Why were the blame on all those bills that are still sitting there and not being entertained? Malada tanang klaurus din eh. Basta man na set bill o tutauto ni mablele mo po di whatever you're not doing and to blame on us because we don't want to join you. Because you don't want us to be in that committee. You don't want us to be in that committee. I ask you, and you refuse to accept any of us. Don't blame on us because a member of your committee resigned and put us on the spot that we were the blame of whatever that is not been done in that committee. Please, like, malada tapana pamulik tapana ajuda. Sabu man masasapit ito tauta. Amjo ni house na. Malingan check of the manus si tourist MBA, communicate with MBA and even Congressman no Kilili's office and see how we can bring tourists here. I think the only hope is tourists, but we don't have any hope with taxes. People are suffering. I don't know how you gonna manage to raise tax and subsidize the department, but punishing the member of the public. Every time we raise tax, we burden general public by the commodities are all going to rise. You think that they're not gonna rise? And the thing that I didn't want to support any of them. Sorry, but I'm not supporting any of the tax increase because you know why? We witness that whenever there is a problem with the government, we, the legislature, are asked to suspend earmarks. Zamanggay gino siya na taxes yan ginta earmark na ginta tsuli no doesn't make sense. We're addressing it to give. We raise tax to give to public health or medical referral. But yet, when it comes to budget, and we're asked, sometimes we don't have any choice but to work with administration and suspend earmarks. For me, supporting passing revenue generation by raising tax, it doesn't do any good to our member of committee. We're an austerity measure. We don't know where to find money to come back to 80 hours for the employee. And if you raise tax, not only that you're chasing investors or business community away, closing down business. We know Hyatt already closing down. And you're gonna do this to small businesses, believe me, that we're gonna lose more money than collect taxes. So pampara mangintus po no amin ni second senator this because we're not here to fight over whatever they're blaming on your precinct. Let's work together, not blaming one another, because that's not right to blame one another. Let's come together and find ways, find solution, not to blame on us so that your precinct will say, oh, you're doing a great job because Tinian is the one not doing their job. We have bills down there. I have bill that I've been introducing for 3 consecutive legislature and it's still down there. But I never say anything about that. But now you give me no choice to say that. And this is a good bill to protect our homesteaders, applicants from DPO taking back after they're being qualified. It's still down there and I've been introducing it for 3 times already. And now you're telling us that the bill at Chairman Babautas no committee is not been entertained because us no
Second senatorial no districts 4 that we don't accept. Ti malago na konyam gizo niya committee. Ejigin na ti ang problema ejigin na konyam no exist you with you that you don't want us. I don't feel comfortable joining a committee that when the chairman don't feel that they were that she want us in that committee. Titaginin na still, Madam President and members of the Senate. Edyo ni manisito ang ginista problema. I don't think that's right, like. That when there's a problem, that's the time they're gonna anyway they're gonna accept you. But anyway, you're not really wanted in that. So I'm not comfortable also joining a committee that I'm not even wanted in that committee. So please, like, pampara man politikan tidinansya. Malaza tapanajuda, zangin malagwa my recommend is almost preaching. Let's help one another and find ways not to lie to the general public that we're the problem, because we're not the problem. We're trying our very best. Only 4 of us trying our very best to work with you guys. You know, we're not creating any problem. You can see from the start, we're not creating any problem, but supporting the leadership in the Senate. And if you want us to support you guys, then start, talking sense, because you're saying that we're nonsense here. We're not nonsense. I'm cuma nonsense in research. Apa problema gini di Senate to find the truth. Thank you, Madam President. I'm sorry that this is too much already. I'm very silent. I don't like to talk a lot, but this is too much. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. I now recognize Senator Dennis Mendiola.
Thank you, Madam Press. I think we're in the spirit of just kind of laying it all on the line, and I just wanted to just add on to that and kind of just jump in and say, in November 2022, the general public spoke and elected the supermajority that's what's now sitting in this administration, both the House, the Senate, and the executive branch. And it's kind of easy for us to just keep saying, oh, the governor's the problem, the former governor's the problem. The problem is that the narrative is over when election ended. Our people got elected. The people that are sitting in office got elected because they believed in the narrative of rebuilding trust. So with that, let's rebuild trust. It's not about Republicans. It's not about Democrats, independent for that matter. It's about us moving the CNMI forward to work for our people. The truth is, the people, no matter how you skin this cat, everybody's struggling. And if we're going to just keep washing our hands and saying, oh, Governor Torres messed up, or former governor or former administration, that's the easiest way to just get out of your situation. Problem is that if we don't have any solution, then why even move to another position if we haven't even figured out the problem now? Why move? Why try and ascend? That's my situation here, is that we're out there. Saipan's not my senatorial district, but I'm out there and the people are stressing their frustration. Everything in the paper, everything in the media is about who's corrupted and who's stealing what. But while we're doing that as legislators, as leaders, our people are still struggling. It's a shame. It's time for us to step up as elected officials and work together and move forward. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Dennis Mendiola. I now recognize Senator Corina Magofnia.
Thank you, Madam President. Not to make this a venting session, but I too would like to, clear the record for everyone who's watching on 2 subject matters that the things that are being said is hurtful. So I would like to set the record straight. First and foremost, the proposed legislation for the retirees' pension of the $5.2 million that we were trying to get money from CETA. I want the retirees to know, por favor, I am not against the retirees and funding their pension, okay? Let's make that very clear. What I was trying to bring to the attention is that that CETA was not the proper place to get the funding source from. Everybody knows that CETA was created to encourage economic development and for infrastructure and projects that generate revenue. A pension expense has nothing to do with infrastructure or revenue generating projects. So it's not that I was against the bill, it's the funding source that it was coming from. There were alternatives to that loan to get, potentially reach out to MPOT or even Bank of Guam, as the Senate President has recommended, to take into consideration. But yet, it is what it is. I just want to state for the record that even the executive director of CEDA agreed with my analysis, and he did agree that CEDA is not the proper place to get the money from. However, because he wants to help the retirees, as we all do, he was willing to overlook that, despite, as a, with all due respect, Anyway, I just want to make clear to the public that I am not against the retirees and funding their pension, but we have to do things the right way, the proper way. Okay. And then now, second, I want to address, because there is this narrative that's going out there with regards to the new JGL committee chair. So I want the public to know directly from me that when the appointed chair, Mr. Senator Carl King Neighbors, asked if I would join the committee as a member, I know what the perception is going to look like. I really do. And despite all the work that I have on my plate, I am a member of every single committee here in the Senate and several other committees at the House. So despite the workload that I have on me, I'm not complaining. You know, it was, I recognize that I have a duty to uphold, you know, to the third senatorial district. And I realized that when Senator Carl asked me to become a member of JGL, that there were no representatives from the third senatorial district. And as much as I wanted to say no, I couldn't do it because I would feel so guilty knowing that I'm letting the third senatorial district people down for not even representing. So I want the people to hear it directly from me that there's this no conspiracy, of me happening to be in the committee, which is now being chaired by King Neighbors. I am simply taking on the additional responsibility because I have a fiduciary duty to fulfill as a senator for the third senatorial district. So I just want to clear that for the record that there's no bad intent in any of this. Okay, so thank you, Madam President. I do apologize. This is not a venting session, but it's so important that the people understand the truth behind the actions that we take. Okay, I just want to put that out for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Magofnia, and I'll recognize Senator Jude Hoff-Schneider.
Jesus Masi, Madam President, and I want to extend my greetings again to everybody, whether you're here or you're watching in on live channel. But first I want to remind everyone that there's only one president, one presiding officer in this chamber, same as that of the House. So if the president makes a decision, a rational decision to shift whatever organization, then we must recognize that there's a need for that, notwithstanding anybody in particular. Much has been said about membership and all, but the last time I checked, when we created the covenant to establish the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands in political union of the United States of America, there's 3 contiguous island senatorial district that God created. Not any one of us. We can die 11 times, 12 times, 100 times over, and we will never attach the islands together as one. But there is always going to be a separation by the body of water. And that's, our forefathers were very insightful, actually, and they're very witty and smart that they've created this to make sure that there's equal representation from all 3 islands. So when they established the line agencies and the bicameral legislature, there's always that knowing too that they advocated, I believe is the former Lieutenant Governor, the late Benjamin Taiscan Manglonia, that really fought and advocated for a bicameral legislature. to have members of the Senate of equal representation and members of the House based on the population. Well, that is um, planned so that we can all have our voices and new representation in whatever functions of the government moving forward. And it has been working, Madam President. It's been working over the years. Many amongst all these presiding officers and the previous senators, they've actually acknowledged that, and it worked. That not one senatorial district should be left out in any way, shape, or form with the standing committee. So I turn back to you, Madam President. I believe that is your responsibility as well. That when you see a ship or a organization that it needs in need of assistance, you take it upon yourself to make that decision. And it's not. It could be Senator Po or Senator Donu or Madam Senator Karina that can be asked to forfeit. But in this case, you made that based on your concern with regards to the legislation. So, as far as some blurbs up there with regards to non-cooperation of members, that's we'll reserve that comment for. And I think Senator Cruz and Senator Dennis Mendola have alluded more than I need to. But I want to say that we need to support the Senate President's call in the appointment. And by the way, congratulations, Senator Carl King Neighbors, for taking on another task. I was hoping that you're going to be here, but physically. But if you're listening, I think the message is clear by the president that she wants us to move on legislations that matters, that improves the lives of the people of the CNMI. I don't know what are the contents of that, and I do know that you've reached out to members. So again, Madam President, we're here, and it's not foreign for the four minorities to work with your office and the other members, and even the administration for that matter. There's never one that I can recall to say that we're not in good harmony with the administration, when in fact we just adopted several committee reports that the ask of our good former speaker OB when he came here as an SAA to ask for support. Since ever since, like what the kids say, since ever since that we feel that in order for us to move forward, we need to accept the obvious and move forward. I will reserve further comments on other matters pertaining to our efforts to figure out how we can swim out of this lethargic revenue stream on the general fund side, and I'll make some comment as deemed necessary when it does cross our floors here, Madam Press. Secondly, a lot of us were sad and taken aback with the formal announcement by a legacy hotel chain that has been here with us for over 40 years. Just 2-3 years ago, we adopted a recommendation by the RADP committees on both houses to extend the lease for the Hyatt. There's a lot of natural disasters that have happened over the last 10 to 12 years that none of us expected, and a lot of our people and a lot of the business community had to swim out of that, and they're still actually, the water is up to their neck perhaps, and we just need to kind of navigate the way out of this. And it's unfortunate that it comes to this point where we hear a beloved hotel property in the CNMI that is going to close shop and move forward to somewhere. I'm not sure what their plan is. My biggest concern is perhaps I recommend to floor leader to visit the property, and so we can see where the staff are going to hit, what they're going to do because there's going to be displacement, obviously. So whether or not we can do anything to salvage or maybe a reconsideration to remain open, I don't know. But the only way for us to find out is we take time to go down and just meet with the manager or the general manager to see where this is going. And it's a beautiful property. It's an iconic location since I can remember. It was a former Continental Hotel, and then it evolved into Hyatt. And I know some of us in here probably experienced the services and the amenities over there. But I respectfully request, Madam President, maybe through your office or even Chair Corina, to pay a visit to the property and see where we can assist, especially the people, our local people, our residents that stand to be displaced. I don't know what kind of repercussions this is going to create. The HOT is definitely going to be affected. I hope that it's not going to be affected, but if it can be just translocated to another property in the CNMI. But as we navigate through moving forward, it's important that we pay close attention to some of these troubling news that's coming out from our community, especially the bread and butter over the last 40 years, the hotel and hospitality and the tourism industry. So here we are today. I respectfully ask Madam Chair and Senate President to please let's reach out to the Hyatt and see where the staff, how they're going to be. And I'm certain that there's already plans, but we still need to know. Jesus Masi, and I yield back.
Thank you, Senator Hofschneider. I now recognize Senator Carl Neighbors online.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, members. I just want to briefly speak on behalf of some of the comments some of the members have made today. I first would like to say thank you to all the members who accepted the opportunity to be in the JGL committee. Senator Florida Dermagovnia, I appreciate and understand fully how much work you're undertaking and you're in your capacities as chairwoman and in all the other special committees tasked by the Senate President. It's unfortunate, however, that we have to come to a place where we have to apologize or kind of clear the air on conceptions on allegiances and what's going on when we all took the oath to serve in the Senate in our inauguration. I don't believe anybody did not say that they would not work for the betterment of the CNMI and put politics aside. Yet here we are, still kind of playing politics. So again, thank you to the members for their comments. I can attest for what Senator Cruz had said with regards to the request for participation from the second senatorial. None of those requests were made when the committees were being formed, and as such, it's kind of disingenuous after the fact to come back and say it's second senatorial's fault. So I just want that on the record. Thank you. I give my time.
Thank you, Senator Carl Neighbors. And to close the comments from the members this morning on this particular matter, I would like to also make a statement. And I'm going to focus on transparency, which I've never wavered from since I took this office when I first got elected. Under Rule 7 of the Senate Rule, Section 5D, it specifically says 3 members of a committee shall constitute a quorum to hold a public hearing or a meeting. This is the evidence and the truth, transparency. On January 13, 2023, a memo was issued by the chairwoman of JGO Committee of the Senate, comprising the members of her committee. Under JGL, Senator Paul A. Manglona as the vice chair, Senator Dennis C. Mendiola as a member, Senator Donald M. Manglona as a member, including the chairwoman, that's 4 members. January 13, that's the evidence, Senate Communication number 23-15. Senate Communication number 23-214, dated July 17, 2023, transparency. A letter written by Senator Dennis Mendiola. removing himself from the JGL committee. Still, even with the exit of Senator Dennis Mendiola, it fulfills the requirement of Senate Rule 7, Section 5D, that 3 members of a committee shall constitute a quorum to hold a public hearing or a meeting. That includes the chairwoman herself, Senator Paul Manglona, and Senator Donald. 3 members constitutes a quorum. I myself, in the spirit of transparency, had requested twice our chairwoman, Senator Babauta, respectfully to consider the minority members in her committee so that it is well represented. The response I got, "Polo zabay hahasu," twice. I'll think about it. With respect, I asked twice. And so I allowed it to let go. I would think that in her good conscience, that she would do the right thing. And nobody's being thrown under the bus. We're just speaking transparency and the truth. A lot of things have been said out there, made fun of, been accused of, never wavered from transparency and being accountable to the public. I take this job seriously. I have no time for politics. I have no time to play the lives of the people. I never moved to the dark side. We want to speak about corruption? I was that woman on the street fighting the casino when the workers were screaming to be paid. I was the one removed as the Secretary of Labor doing the right thing. I created a $200 million special committee to look into the ARPA money that was put in an investment trust account at a local bank. That particular committee is working hard to be transparent to the people. I initiated the override of the ARPA veto and the access to munis. That's transparency to the people. Who was behind the thinking of the line of credit, which is now executed as an agreement between MPOT and this administration to move the projects of EDA. I utilize my skills with the background of banking and insurance, making that recommendation to the governor. And as we speak today, that particular agreement has been executed and signed. 902 consultations, through the resolution, in the interest of our people and our Commonwealth, to do the right thing and to save ourselves from sinking. I spoke about this in my inaugural address, referencing Puerto Rico about promesa. I speak transparency and accountability and trust, respect to the people. There's no room for games. There's no room for lies. No more. Let's be honest. All of these documents are available to the people. Transparency and accountability and the truth. Basta'y dinagi. And that shall end my comments. Moving on to end our session. Under item R, announcements. Senators, any announcements? Item S, adjournment. I now recognize the floor leader.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I would like to offer a motion to adjourn this session, subject to the call of the president.
Second.
There's a motion to adjourn this session. Has it been seconded? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays, this motion is hereby adjourned.